So, welcome back, Paul, and welcome back, everybody. So, this is our Q&A with Paul, who is the author of Dead Man to Iron Man. And this is the time for the guys on the All Us Men group to explore how they feel about Paul's story, their own story as well, and the connection that you will feel with Paul based on your own experiences. And we're going to leave it open for people to come in and talk to Paul and just have a one-to-one. And I'd like to just sit back and just allow that to happen. So just as a wave, does anyone want to kick us off as a kickstart? Anyone got a question or just want to say something to Paul, or just say, so Davey, yeah, Davey, I'm going to unmute you, Davey. There you go.
Hi, Davey. How you doing?
Yeah, I think it's an incredible story, obviously, because I think most age groups will relate to being a bit of a couch potato, especially at a certain stage, and then thinking about getting a road bike when you hit 40 is standard.
Yeah.
For me, I know you said you focused on that sort of positive mindset, or not thinking on the negative. When you were doing that, did you think, did you try and sort of meditate out of it a bit, or did you focus on like the goal where you're like, okay, if I just do a bit of training tomorrow, the goal is this? Did you use that to kind of push forward, or were you sort of telling yourself, no, forget about that, like forget about, obviously all the sort of cancer and possibility of you're not sure what's going to happen, and then just go, yeah, this is it, I need to do this now?
Yeah, I think I'm a kind of list type person, a tick list type of person. So it's always been my approach, really, because as we said before, I can get a bit lazy. And if I haven't got things written down in front of me or in my mind, like a tick list of what I want to do, then that's the way I'd feel like I can handle, what I've got in front of me. And so for this, I'd kind of approached it like that, really. It was about the event, and that kind of, but it's so enormous when it's at the end, such a big event to do, that you have to break it right down, and just work on the little things, really. So I had a training diary which I completed, and it was kind of focusing on the training, which kind of let all of my sort of the physical side of what I was doing and the mental side fall into place, really. From that, they kind of followed on, and it was more, I think a lot of it wasn't really thought out. It was more of a consequence of that, because especially once, at first I couldn't do a lot of training. The training started very gentle and worked up, but towards the end, when I was doing like really long bike rides and really long runs, one of the biggest consequences I had was that I was like in bed asleep at 8:30 at night, knackered. And when that's happening to you, you don't really have time to worry, or you kind of, normally I'd lay in bed thinking about stuff, and then my mind would go back to the cancer, and I'd be like, well, what if it come back, or what would I do about this? What would I do about that? Who am I going to leave my things to if I die? All these kind of ridiculous things that you think about.
Yeah.
But as a consequence of doing the training I was doing, it calmed me a lot. And I think if anybody who does exercise would kind of, you'd that endorphin release you get from exercise and the well-being that you feel after you've done something, that for me definitely went a long way to even me out, and allow me to sort of to carry on. And I didn't think that out at the beginning. That was kind of how it happened. And that was a consequence, really, of where we went, of where I went, with it, and how it played out for me. So, it was about the event. It was about getting to the start line, really. That's all I wanted to do. And so, break it down, and in every little degree where you achieve some training goal, or you move on, or for me, go a day without shitting my pants, was like they're all positives, it was all a positive move, really. And that allowed me to keep that positive vibe rolling, you know, as opposed to thinking, well, actually, my stomach really hurts today. And is that because the cancer's coming back, or is it because I've got a hernia and it means I won't be able to do any training? You know, it was just seeing the positives, really.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I think I rambled a bit there, but I hope that kind of answers the question a bit, to be honest.
Can I say another quick thing? It was at the point when you were doing it, what did the doctor say, like, oh, you shouldn't do this, this is a bit too much? Or were they sort of like, crack on, you can do whatever you want sort of thing?
When I went for my consultation about the operation, I was already thinking about it, and I said to him, I said, when I've done the operation, do you reckon I'll be able to do an Ironman triathlon? He didn't even know what it was, to be honest. And when I explained it, he just laughed.
Yeah.
I was like, who knows? You know, he's like, who knows? But he didn't want to put a stopper on me, put it that way. And I was never told that, no. And I think the only thing that I was told really was, you're going to need 3 months to get over it before you go back to work, or think about going back to work. And don't beat yourself up if it's longer. But the problem I had, where I'd set myself this bloody triathlon to do, was I had to be training in 3 months, 6 days a week. Even though it was fairly gentle at first, I still had to be doing it, you know. So I was kind of set myself up, really. But it was a case of just feeling my way through it, really, seeing how I was feeling, how it was going, you know, and take it from there. But yeah, no one had ever said to me, no, don't do it for health reasons. My biggest risk was a hernia, basically, from such a big open cut, you know, so I had to temper that. But other than that, you know, it was, if you can do it, do it. And I think as well, just on that note, I know damn well, and I keep in touch with a lot of forums, you know, and a lot of groups for the cancer. And I hear about people who are really struggling a lot, and everybody's op's different. So it's hard for you to say, you know, how someone's going to react compared to you. But there's a lot of people really struggling, even 2-3 years afterwards, with a lot of bowel pain, you know, and a lot of stomach cramps and aching. Whereas I think because I'd put myself through so much exercise, I'd loosened up the scar tissue so much that physically, you know, I was in a lot better place for doing it ultimately.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Thank you, Davey. Thank you. It's really nice questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else? So I've got Dave and Andrew want to ask. So we'll go with Dave, and then we'll go to Andrew. So Dave, do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Paul. So it's a real privilege to sort of meet you. This is the new Meet People.
Thank you.
So thank you for your time, and your book's on order. So that's another sale for you. So well done.
Thank you very much.
I am excited to read the full story, and hearing the sort of snippets from Mahesh. I was one of the 10 mad people that ran into the sea on Saturday morning.
I probably saw your backside on
yeah, it was wide enough. You wouldn't have missed
on
it.
Instagram.
Anyway, couple of things. I think hearing such a positive attitude is, I think with illness generally, can be something that can be really helpful just in the process. But I've got a friend who, a buddy of mine was on earlier, Tim, having a listen, and we've known each other for 30 years. We've got another buddy whose wife's going through chemo at the moment.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, you may or may not be able to give us some advice, but as friends, we obviously want to support my friend Julie, but at the same time, we're very conscious that we don't want to be those annoying people that are trying to do everything for them.
Yeah.
Just if you can give any you know, small piece of guidance for us as, you know, caring friends.
Yeah. Don't be scared to ask, but don't be pushy either. Okay. If that makes sense. Don't be scared to ask, because I think I had that with people that I know who were kind of, everyone knew, you know, after a few months, everyone knows. And I was just walking around kind of like normal, really. I wasn't sick before my operation. Do you know what I mean? So I was kind of just the normal me. And there were people who were clearly uncomfortable around me.
Okay.
Which wasn't nice, you know. So always ask, you know, and if you want to help, just throw it out there. Anything anything I can do for you, anything you need.
Yeah.
You know, and that sounds on the face of it, you know, a bit of a kind of lame kind of throw out, you know, can I help you? Well, maybe not, I'll move on. But I really appreciated the fact that people were there for me.
Yeah.
And you only really know it if they say it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You can imply things, but it means a lot when someone looks you in the eye and asks you how you are without being pushy or digging in, you know, unless you want to talk about it. And then just, you know, offer up. Say, well, you know, is there anything I can do for you, you know? And if you know them and their circumstance and there was, I don't know, something that needed doing, you know, just throw it out. Do you want me to do X?
Yeah.
Can I do you a favour by doing you know, doing something for you? That, you know, I think that's probably the best way to do it, you know, because people appreciate it, but in a passive way, really.
Okay.
You know, that was my personal feeling. Other people will be different, and of course they will. But I don't think you can go far wrong by taking that approach.
Okay.
Because you're just being open and honest, and you know, and not ligging, basically, not prying, you know, getting involved when you're maybe not wanted, but you're there.
Yeah.
And you care, you know, and that's the main thing. That's what matters the most.
Okay. All right. That's great. Thank you.
Sure.
Just a couple of other very quick things. When did you actually decide to write your story? Was it completely after you'd finished the Iron Man, or did you start to think of it during the journey from operation to event? And have you done any more since?
It was kind of in the back of my mind, and some of my friends said to me that as the journey was going on, well, this is a great story, you should write this down. But I had a lot on my mind, quite frankly, you know, just getting it done. So I didn't want to push that too hard or make a big scene, and I didn't want it, like I said earlier, I didn't want it to be a vanity project, really, for me. You know, and it felt, when I was doing it too soon, it would have felt like that. It felt like I was just basically regurgitating it, and it took about a year really for it to sink in. I think sometimes these things take a while, you know, to really sink in, and your feelings become really clear about where you are or what, you know, what's happened to you, and then from then I started writing a blog, actually. And I just spun it out just to a few friends to have a read, just as who I knew I'd get an honest opinion from, whether it was any good or not.
Okay.
And they liked it, and they wanted to read the next one. So I got halfway through that, and then I properly decided, right, I'm gonna put it in a book. So I took that down then. Didn't want to give too much away, and then started, you know, planned my chapters and started writing. And it kind of went from there. A lot of people have said to me, "You're going to write anything more?" And maybe on that side, because it was hard work, and it was hard work, and it's quite academic as well, and that's not my forte. I've shied away from it, but there is other stuff in me. I do have there's a fiction story brewing, really. There's a police story brewing.
Okay.
Definitely, you know, so who knows, we'll see. But I was lucky enough to get this one published, and I know how tough that is nowadays, and to write a book it's a difficult thing. It costs you a lot of money. Before this was published in this format, I self-published it myself.
Okay. And
sold a few copies, but that cost me twice as much as I made back.
Yeah.
Just to have it in print, you know. And if it was only because I could afford it that I did it. And if I couldn't have afforded it, it would have gone on to Kindle, and that would have been the end of it, you know?
Yeah.
So there's lots of considerations about writing, you know. Don't ever give up your job and think you're going to be an author. You know, start slow.
Well, thank you again, and you know, truly inspirational stuff. So
Thanks, Dave.
all the very best to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks. Okay, Andrew, you're with Paul now.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Andrew.
Again, as all the rest of the men have said, it's an inspirational story. I'm really interested to see, because you've stayed positive and you're saying a list man. Did you, when you were coming to the end of your Ironman, did you have another challenge set already to do afterwards? That you, because I've entered a marathons in the past, and I always had the marathon blues afterwards. You always had to book another one, and I just wonder how you've coped with that. If you've got, you know, because I've fallen off the bandwagon of them, and maybe I should need to get back on.
Yeah, I did.
Back on the horse.
I did, big time. I was exhausted afterwards.
You've gone through a hell of a lot as well with you.
Yeah, and you don't really realise, because you're in it and you're doing it, I don't think you quite realise how compounded everything is, physically particularly and mentally, you know. And I did it, you know, and I finished, and it was such a relief to do that, that there was a big come down after that. And you're right, the blues, they do, you know, there's Ironman blues as well as, you know, any other marathon blues. You're right, 100%. And it hit me. And I had a few months off. Well, I didn't get on a bike, I didn't do anything, you know, didn't do anything, literally. And then you start sort of slipping a bit then. And because I'd done so much, it was like, the only thing I'm going to be able to do now is something that might even top that. So I did sign up for an ultra marathon. And it was a 50 miler on the Gower Peninsula in Wales. And it was all the way around the Gower Peninsula. So a really hilly one again, coastal, 50 miler. And I trained for that again. And I had obviously a lot of residual fitness, really. And the week before, or it might have been the 2 weeks before, I had a bowel obstruction, basically, from scar tissue. And I just bent over double one day in agony and had to go to hospital. And I was in hospital for the week on a drip. And it's just a consequence of such a big bowel operation. You get a lot of scar tissue, and it still affects me now, and it can happen at any time, really. But then I was in hospital. I didn't eat anything for a week, lost quite a bit of weight. That slowly unraveled itself, and I got back to normal. But then I was like 5 days before the ultra, and I hadn't eaten for a week, and it was just like, this ain't happening, you know. So I had to drop that, and then that was kind of it, really. And then that was it for like planned events, and then we moved out to France, and since then I've just been just doing fitness for the love of doing it, really. I've done a couple of half marathons. The Geneva half marathon I did a couple of years running when we were living there, and that was good. And I trained for that. And I'm not quick, you know. I'm not an athlete as such. And I wanted to break 2 hours for a half marathon, and I managed to do 1:58 for the Geneva half. So that was my sort of achievement since really. And then since then, being here, you know, there's been a lot of walking, hiking, running, and stuff like that. So I've just been keeping myself fit and occupied like that, really. Yeah.
It's good.
How did you find after the marathon then? You say you signed up for another one?
I signed up for, I did 2 afterwards, after the London Marathon. And yeah, it was, I think, yeah, at the time I was going through a little bit of depression at the same time. So it was a really good concentration thing to crack on with.
Yes.
And yeah, I miss it. But again, I saw some pictures of going up the Mer de Glace and I used to go to the Alps with my friends, and going up into the mountains is you used to do the running and stuff to train to go to there. So but being out in the outdoors is the key really, which I found.
Yeah, I definitely believe that.
Doesn't matter if it's, to me now, it doesn't matter if it's, don't have to go to the top of the mountain. It's just being out there is the key really. So, but thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Fresh air outdoors is just being out and doing something.
Yeah. And camaraderie as well with people and stuff is
yeah, good for the soul.
Yeah, and people
absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Is there anyone else that wants to connect with Paul? Yeah, Stump. So we'll do Stump and then we'll go to Michael. Do you want to unmute yourself?
All right.
Hello, mate.
Hi, Paul.
How you doing?
All right. I think I've got a bit of a connection with you. One question. Do you think about the cancer on a daily basis still, or what? Or does it just go out there and sit in the back of the head?
Yes, I do. Very perceptive question, actually. Yeah, you do. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
It comes up somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
I get that, my friend, because 18 months ago I was diagnosed with leukemia. It's not the worst leukemia, and I resonated with you when you said, whatever hand you're dealt with, I truly, truly am grateful for the one I got, because it's not the worst in the world.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you have to live with. I'm not under treatment at all at the moment, but in the future, it's one of those things you have to live with on a daily basis. Because I have CCL, chronic lymphatic leukemia, which is the secondary one, right, which is basically monitored for a time.
Yeah.
And basically to see how your cells are going. Well, the only trouble with that is that they can, when you go in for tests and what have you, then you can be told that, okay, it's fine, it's a little bit up, it's a little bit down, it's a little bit sideways, but the anxiety that it brings up in you is horrendous. And the thing they can't tell you is when this stuff will kick off.
Yeah.
But you know that.
Exactly the same position. I have an annual scan, CT scan and bloods, and you go in wondering, is this going to be the year? When's that letter coming?
No, this is it entirely. It's because basically they liken mine to a time bomb without a clock. So it just ticks. And you don't know when it's going to blow.
Yeah.
And it might never blow for 5 years, it might never blow for 10 years.
Yeah.
It might blow next month.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel you, definitely. That's and if anything, I think for me, I'm in a slightly more fortunate position in that as time goes by, my chances of recurrence are slowly diminishing. They're not going to go ever, but they're diminishing. Whereas for yourself, it's ongoing. Just there, isn't it? It's ongoing. Yeah,
it's ongoing. It won't. That's it. Because it's blood. It's a bit of a problem.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? How do you like we say, so every day it kind of comes up somewhere. How do you handle it?
I shove it right to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Now, for as long as I can. It creeps out now and again, and you have a down day where you think, "Oh God, I'm not feeling," and I get knackered, because basically what this stuff does, it knocks out your immune system. Slowly but surely, you'll probably never die of leukemia, but I will die of a related illness, because it will knock out your immune system.
Yeah.
I get totally why you say, if you're a certain age, look after yourself, because now I try my best, truly.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
But I could have started a lot earlier.
Yeah. It's
But
it's the kick up the arse, isn't it?
Yeah, but who knows when you're going to get the kick up the arse?
Exactly.
That's the whole point, you know?
Exactly. And so, that, you know, don't wait for it.
No. But yeah, no, it does. I go through waves. I get, these guys are the greatest support crew in the world. They truly are. I mean, they've been with me all the way. And if it wasn't for these guys, probably everybody on this screen right now, that I wouldn't be as good as I am.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
So basically, yeah, it does play, but you just got to keep it. You just got to dig in here and bring it out and go, no, it's all right. It's not a problem.
Yeah, and be grateful. Be grateful for what you got.
100%. 100%, because there's a lot of people out there with a lot worse. So I'm here. I'm quite healthy. I'm surrounded by all these guys, which truly are the greatest support crew. So I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic.
But it's just somebody else's story, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we've all got our own stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I'm ready for an Iron Man yet.
Never say never. It's I've always said afterwards, on reflection, anyone could do one, and I truly believe that. I truly believe it. I think that you can break down every element of that event. You can break it down. You don't have to be stupid like I did and give yourself 10 months to do it.
No.
You could give yourself as long as you like, but you can break down every element of that race and you can work on every bit of it.
Yeah.
And every part will compound into the next and make you fitter and stronger. And as you get fitter and stronger mentally, you can handle more pain and more physical exertion, and you move on. And I think nobody should, you know, and people say to me, what? It's bloody ridiculous, you know. But genuinely, if you wanted it enough, but you've got to know why you want it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. The only thing I
reason.
will say is thank you for being so honest about your illness, because it helps somebody else.
Oh, you're more than welcome. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it, mate. And I really appreciate that, and I appreciate your honesty as well. And just to hear you say that, you know, is that, do you think about it every day? It's kind of just comes full circle then, doesn't it? It's not. And it's not just you. It's not just me. You know, I might have written a book about it.
I think everybody that's out there who's got it thinks about it in their own way. It might go away for a few days, but it creeps back into this. And this is the biggest problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel nothing. There's no pain, there's nothing.
Yeah.
But it all goes on in here.
And it's what's going to hold you back. It's only your mind, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the body might, but the mind's predominantly,
We're all at that age now where our bodies are holding us back, I think.
Yeah. But thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Stan. That's so lovely of you to connect on that level.
Yeah, it's cool. Appreciate it.
Michael,
thank you, Mahesh. Yeah, good evening, everyone. And good evening, Paul. I'm Michael. I'm based in Dorset, Bournemouth.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, mate. I just, there's a few things that are rattling around here, a few things I'm feeling in my heart and my gut. So if I just share them with you.
Fire.
I don't mean to ever cause offence or anything like that. So I'm just going to let it flow through me. So something that really struck me in your conversation in part one with Mahesh was, you don't know how you'd react if you knew that this wasn't going to be treatable.
Yeah.
Brother, I could feel that you would cope with it, and you would have been on that start line and you would have crossed the finishing line. You've got this awareness and this personal character that shines through. This was what you were meant to do. You found your path, and it's like, I don't mean to be rude, but the story of the policeman sounds wonderful, but break down how to get to a level of triathlon for every age, because you've just said the whole mechanics of the mind, the body, the soul is there. It's such a powerful thing. You're a guy that jots everything down.
Yeah.
I haven't got the book yet. I will purchase it. Of course I will.
Thank you.
I think it's something so strong that I'm feeling for you, that in this current time of this connection that we're all making, a powerful story like that, bringing hope, bringing awareness, the power of the now. Like, we're so lucky to be alive, like you said, mate. We're so lucky to be surrounded by lovely people, which we create, by the way.
That when you say it's about the now, definitely, you know, that's what I live for now.
You can feel it, mate.
I try not to live in we've all got baggage. We've all got things that play on our minds, but it's important to live now, not too far in the future. You've got to plan ahead. You can't be. I feel, you know, I know I'm not a reckless person, but I don't want to go too far ahead either, you know. And
that's
I don't want
lovely,
to dwell in the past.
That's beautiful, bro. It's finding that balance, but. So yeah, a couple of things just rattling around, just, you know, on a forum like you're now reaching out to. You started with a blog, you reached out to a few trusted pals and got some feedback. You've got this lovely nature. You're so honest. And I think just in this current time when lives matter and mental health's at the top of and for people to change their ways, for people to become conscious and to get out there and give things a go. You know, and it doesn't matter if you last. In fact, even better, you know. And I'm just really honoured to have. I wasn't actually going to make it tonight. I was a bit like, the kids needed me to do stories, and I had to juggle it with the wife because, you know, she had some things on. But I'm really glad I came on just to get to see you and be with you tonight and everybody. I have a connection that I'd like to share. I had a moment in my life where I actually was at death's door. I've had bowel removed at 16 years of age. I had peritonitis. I had gangrene in my body, and I still suffer to this day with bowel issues. So I have to be mindful of what I eat and so forth. And so I feel you on that connection.
Yeah.
No way at the level of what you're dealing with, what you've just spoke with Stumpy on. I salute you, mate. I salute Stump, you know, surrounding myself with people like you, hearing your stories, being on a forum like tonight. It fills me with such hope that you spread that message, mate. And you're the perfect tool to do that. And I just hope that you continue on that journey of bringing some stuff to people that can really relate to your story in a more micromanaged way, like how to achieve what you've achieved, you know. It would be but you know, like I said, I don't mean to be offensive. What, hearing
that, it's inspirational, to be honest. To me, it makes me reflect on, you know, what more I can do and where I can go with it. So I appreciate that, you know, because Mahesh mentioned it earlier, and I've said it in the book, you know, sometimes I'm a bit lazy and I can drift back, you know, and just hearing that from you just makes me feel, mate, you know,
that's okay. Sorry to interrupt. I'm wondering how you cope with what you've gone through. Do you do any mindfulness? I know you do a lot of physical stuff. You've done some writing, which is beautiful, but how do you balance everything up for you to keep yourself just in the now?
My kind of day to day is, if I've got a problem with myself, is I've always done it. I look at myself in the third person.
Wow.
I'm always outside myself, looking at me.
Wow.
That's kind of how I detach myself from the reality of it, and maybe lose some of the emotion.
That's a gift.
You know, and even it out a bit so it's not so scary or painful.
Wow.
And it's funny you say about mindfulness, but I mentioned to Mahesh, actually, I know I think you guys do a bit of yoga and meditation and things like that. And since we've been out, we're in Chamonix at the moment, living
Oh,
in
I love
Chamonix
that.
now,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is just beautiful. And a friend of ours that we met out here had met a yoga teacher and was going, and my wife went, and then it was, oh, you know, they really want the husbands to go, you know, and I was like, oof, not sure about that. And then I went down, and we've been doing it, and we've been doing yoga for 3 months now, and you know, I never felt like it was a form of exercise, but it so is. It's physical, and you get the endorphins mentally that you get after you've been for a run, just the same. There's a lot of well-being from that.
Yeah, Mahesh is more of our expert on that, because he's obviously. But yeah, it's really nice to hear. I'm really pleased about that, because I think that brings a nice moving people forward with the inspiration you've got behind you in the story, moving more into the consciousness that we need to as a species, you know, it's so crucial, so crucial.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
No, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
I'm really, really grateful to meet you, and I'll definitely buy you a book, mate, and hopefully, you know, we'll see more coming from you.
You're a gentleman.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Okay, I think maybe one more if we've got. Does anyone else want to say anything to Paul while they've got the opportunity? Otherwise, we'll wrap up this evening. No? Okay. Well, just from my end, I'm really appreciate you coming, spending some time with us. I know I've kept you for a little while now, but I really appreciate you spending time with us, guys.
It's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure.
It's nice to throw out variety when you're holding space for people, and on Tuesday nights we've been doing philosophy for the last 2 months. We've been using Tuesday nights to sit through scriptures and philosophy, and this is it. This is you know, and I hope that all the work that we've been doing around then talking to someone like you who's just apparently just getting on with it isn't just apparently getting on with it. You know, there's lots more to you than just getting on with it, and whether you know it or not, you're a profound and inspirational human being. And you know, all the work that we've been doing with the readings that we've been doing, and the movement and the flow and the camaraderie and the coming together, I think, you know, you embody all of that. And so
thank you. I really appreciate it.
We thank you. I really thank you for coming on and spending time with us. So we'll wrap this evening up. One very quick thing. Jules asked, did you get the tattoo, the M. tattoo? Did you get the M. tattoo?
Can we see it? Come on. Where is it?
He's getting.
Of course I did.
Let's have a look.
Could I be that shallow? Where is it? There we go.
There he is.
See that? There you go. There you go. Could you ever imagine getting a McDonald's tattoo?
That's the one I've got.
Yeah.
Jules,
So, yeah, I've got.
Jules is asking, do you want to see mine?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. Jules, unclick yourself. Have you got one, Jules? Is he going to come on?
Hello. Yes, I'm there. I'm here. Let me just. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
You see
There
me?
he is.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you got yours? Show us yours.
Oh, really? Oh, okay then.
Come on.
You've got to make some noise so we can click on you so we can see the screen. There we are.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think if I've got the angle right.
There it is.
Okay, there he is.
There we go.
There he
There
is.
he is. Brother.
Exactly, brother.
in the club. He knows the pain.
I do know the pain and the joy and the joy.
Absolutely.
I get
Which
what
did you
you're saying.
do?
Sorry?
Which did you do?
I've done a few. I've done a few halves, and the full one I did was in Frankfurt.
Yes.
So I went for the easy option because it was nice and warm, as flat as a pancake. Well, the run was flat as a pancake, which is important, isn't it? The cycles are run down.
They've all got their they're all difficult though, isn't it? There's never an easy one.
Yeah. But thank you. It's really inspiring to hear. It's made me think, yes, I need to dust off the road bike, dust off the wetsuit. Well, dust off. Do some work to get into the wetsuit, but it's really good to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Paul. Thanks for everybody for coming along and joining in and listening to the story. And we're going to say good night and goodbye to everybody. And for anybody who's watching this on a different platform, head to Dead Man to Iron Man on Instagram. And how can they buy your book, Paul?
On Amazon or from any good bookshop. Literally, it's available through any distributor. So you can walk into your bookshop and order it, or Amazon or any online, any of them online platforms, and Kindle as well. It's an ebook as well. So if anyone ever wanted to drop me a line, they can get in touch on my website as well. It's deadmeattoathlete.com. And they can catch me there as well. If it's just any questions or anything they want to ask me, just fire away. I'm always there.
Okay, beautiful. We'll say good evening. We're going to wrap this up, and thank you again.